Hi everyone. So today I am working on a multi-lock with serrated drivers. So I'm just using a plain Z-bar, and then I have a couple of multi-pick dimple picks, number 3 and a number 4, I believe. So this lock, I am picking it from the left-hand side because there's no room on the right-hand side. I'm also tensioning counterclockwise, which normally, if you're picking from the left-hand side, would be a little problematic, but because this particular lock does not have any spools, it's just serrated drivers, it really doesn't make that much of a difference. So first I am working on setting the outer pins here. So the multi-lock has a pin-in-pin design where there is, for both the key pins and the driver pins, an inner and an outer pin. So for picking, you first start off by picking the outer key pins, and then you will get a false set, and then you can go ahead and finish up by picking the inner key pins. So I know on this particular lock, because I've picked it a couple times, I have pretty low lifts in the front and the back, so pins 1 and 5, and then pin 2, 3, and 4 are actually kind of high lifts, especially pin 2. So a lot of what I'm doing here is just revisiting those middle 3 pins and just making sure that I have lifted them high enough, lifting them through multiple clicks as the serrated drivers kind of get pushed up. So my pick got stuck there. I think I pushed it up all the way into one of the outer key pins, and I had to kind of pry it out. Okay, right there, probably saw kind of a bigger movement. That was actually all of the outer key pins setting, and so now I'm in a false set here. Now I just need to go back in and make sure that all of the inner pins are set correctly. Now typically this is kind of the easier part. Once you're in the false set, I've found on these multi-locks, you're basically done. You just kind of need to figure out which inner pins are not quite set correctly and tap them up. Usually sometimes you have to pull back on the tension a little bit just to make sure that they haven't gotten stuck, on the outer pins, and they can drop if they need to be lower. But usually this is the somewhat easy part of this whole picking. course, as I say that, it's actually, I'm having a lot of problems here getting the inner pin set. So I'm backing off on tension and then resetting it just to make sure that I haven't gotten any of the inners overlifted and they're stuck there. I'm definitely having a little difficulty figuring out which inner pin I need to get into the right spot here. Switching to the wider flag just to make sure that I'm able to get it onto the inner pins and I'm not missing them. Oh, there we go. All right. So lock is picked, and now I'm going to take it out of the vise, and I will go ahead and get it so we can see all of the internals. So you can see the plug is moving freely. I'm actually going to relock this before I gut it. I do not have a key for this lock, so I'm going to gut it through the top. I just need to take this cover off. Then I will pull the springs out and we'll see how the pins come out. I'm trying not to bend the spring as I pry this cover off. Oh, there it goes. All right, lost the spring, but the cover's off. So I'm gonna get the rest of them and then I will go find that. see where that spring went. Okay, here we go. All right, now I'm gonna try to get the drivers out. I've noticed cutting this lock in the past that the drivers pop out, and then I will also probably get some of the inner key pins like that one. Just need to make sure that I keep them all in the correct positioning. It's actually a little easy to put them back together because they do have matched heights, the inner and the outers. So there's the outer key pin in the first position. If I can just get all the drivers out, then I will be able to pull out the plug and get all the key pins separately. Okay, there's all the drivers. So I'm just gonna unscrew this plate from the back, and then I will pull the plug out and get the rest of the key pins out. You can probably see that there's a bunch of grooves in the plug. I just wanted to make sure that all the drivers were out before I tried to remove it, since I don't have the key, just to make sure that nothing fell into a groove or an extra hole or something and got bricked. I should probably mention this is not my personal lock. I borrowed this from Duckfax on the Discord, so thanks to him for loaning it to me, and that's one reason why I'm trying to be extra careful with it. Alright, so now I've got all the pins out. I'm just separating the inners and the outers completely here so we can see them all when I bring them up to the camera. Can't quite get this one out. See if I can push it out from the bottom. I'm just gonna push it a little bit with the screwdriver. There we go. Okay, so here are the internals of the lock. I'll show some of these up close in a second, but you can see the serrated drivers there and the inner and outer key pins. Nothing special in the plug, no kind of milling or anything, at least as far as I can tell. So let's grab one of the drivers. All right, so up close you can see the serrations in the driver. You can see that there's an inner and an outer part of the driver too. They are connected, but you can see a little springy there. And I'm just going to grab one of the outer key pins. So not too much special here, but you can see there's a hole right there where the inner key pin would go through. And here's the inner. It's just a little thing. It's got a lip on it so that it doesn't fall all the way down through the outer. All right, there we go. Multi-lock with serrated drivers, picked and gutted. Thanks.